This will be the third video I'm doing with I Pick Bitcoin. We're rating Cardano projects. And let me just name the projects in the beginning of the video that we're going to talk about. We're going to do Yummi, Clay Nation, Good Charlotte, Crypto Dinos, Smooth Yeti Mountain Club, and then Rats DAO. We're going to rate them with our 10-point metric system that's based on data. Why don't we start with the Yummies over there?
Yep, let's do this. So Yummi Universe, so they are a gaming entertainment project. The creators are known in the community. They got a point there. There's a lot of revenue generating utility in this project, so they get a point there. Their well concentration top 10 wallets is less than 10%. They get a point there. All rarities have value in this project, so they get a point there. Their wallet distribution is higher than 30%. They also get a point there. Their floor price is higher than the mint price. They get a point there. Their average price history is trending higher in the last 30 days. We would like to see that. They get a point there. Their volume in the top 20 in the last 30 days is also going up. They get a point there. Their 30-day floor price is trending higher. And this project is in the volume in the top 50. So Yummi Universe, to my surprise, gets a 10 out of 10 as of our analysis, and their floor price is $5.98 right now.
$5.98. So again, this is probably undervalued, right? Probably undervalued compared to some of the other, what we keep calling OG projects. I mean, versus paying, 5 or 6,000 ADA to get into something like Space Buds, might be better to just buy a couple of these Yummi Universe and see what happens with their gaming. So let's look at Clay Nation, Good Charlotte, because this has an intangible quality that I don't like looking at intangibles, but I don't think you could ignore something this big where they're actually partnered with well-known public figures, in this case the band Good Charlotte.
Yep, so let's do Clay Nation, Good Charlotte. So PFP project, also into virtual worlds. Their creators' identity are well known in the community. They do have revenue generating utility. Their wealth concentration, top 10 wallets, is less than 10%. So they also get a point there. All their rarities have value beyond ranking. They get a point there. Wallet distribution is higher than 30%. So they also get a point over there. Their floor price is higher than the price that they got distributed to the holders. So it's higher there. Their average price history is trending higher in the last 30 days. Their volume is in the top 20 in the last 30 days. And the 30-day floor price is trending higher. And they are in the top 50 for volume for CNFT projects. So Clay Nation Good Charlotte gets a 10 out of 10 with a floor price of $9.60.
Yeah, and sometimes the something intangible just puts it over the top, and you could see by these trends, it's basically stagnant, the floor price and the average price history, and then all of a sudden they get some news, and they're connected obviously to Clay Nation, which had some deal with Snoop Dogg, and you could see that obviously you want to find this project here. You don't want to find the project necessarily up here. You want to use the metrics to see which project is really close to a breakout, the same as you would when you're using technical analysis looking at tokens or stocks.
Yeah, and just to jump in there really quick, even before the announcement, it looks like this project would have rated really high, maybe 8 or 9 out of 10. But with the announcement, they definitely hit 10 out of 10.
Right. But again, sometimes a 7 or 8 out of 10, it's still undervalued based on what it costs to buy into the floor or to buy into one of the average priced NFTs, and you want to find it when it's undervalued, not when it's properly valued.
Right. So which one do you want to do next?
Let's look at Crypto Dinos. I'm holding 2 of these. I want to see how it stacks up. Crypto Dino is here. They're cutesy, almost 3D looking dinosaurs. They have a breeding They have a breeding function in the game, which is definitely, I think, a Cardano thing where the NFTs are breeding. So why don't we rate this one? I like this one, the way it looks anyway.
Nice. Hopefully we can see them breeding. So let's do Crypto Dino. So PFP project, they're into gaming entertainment. As far as I know, the creators are not known in the community. They do not have any revenue generating utility as of right now. Nothing outside of an expected game eventually. Their whale concentration is under 10%, so that's good. We like to see that, so they get a point there. It looks like all the rarities have value beyond the ranking, so they get a point there. Their wallet distribution is higher than 30%. That's always really good to see, so they get a point there. Their floor price is higher than their mint price. Their average price history is trending higher in the last 30 days. Their volume is not in the top 20, though, in the last 30 days, so they do not get a point there. And also, their 30-day floor price is not trending higher. It's actually trending lower in the last 30 days, but they are in the top 50 all-time value. So Crypto Dino gets a 6 out of 10 with a floor price of 85.
Yeah, I think this is one of those projects where if we revisited this in, let's say, 2 weeks or so, they might pick up some of those momentum indicators, just because I'm looking at the floor price now. A couple days ago it was 60, it jumped up to 90 in just like 3 days, 4 days. So depending on the timing of this evaluation, some of these momentum indicators could be off.
Right. So if we had another 2 points on there, they could be an 8 out of 10, right? If the momentum is right. So make your judgment calls based on that.
All right, let's do another project that I planned to mint, but I did not mint, and it's Smooth Yeti Mountain Club. They're number 22, it looks like, on volume all time, and 7,500 of these minted. Let's see. I was gonna mint one of these, and last minute I decided not to.
Yep. So PFP project looks like they're getting into virtual worlds and gaming. So their creators are not known, so they do not get a point there. It looks like they do have revenue generating utility. They get a point there. Their whale concentration, top 10 wallets do own less than 10%. They get a point there. The rarities do have value beyond ranking. They get a point there. Wallet distribution is higher than 30%, which is always great to see. So they get a point there. Their floor price is higher than their mint price currently. Their average price is trending higher in the last 30 days. Their volume in the top 20 in the 30 days is higher. They get a point there. The 30-day floor price is trending higher, and they are in the all-time volume in top 50. So Smooth Yeti, and I was actually surprised at this, they get a 9 out of 10 with a floor price of 420. I personally was not looking at this, but after this analysis, I am going to be looking at it to see if I could get into a better price.
Yeah, and I think they minted very recently, and the fact that they're already pretty high up on the all-time volume rankings is surprising as well. I think they minted in like February, which is, like 2 months ago, really not that long ago, considering how many projects have minted on Cardano in the last year. All right, so I want to look at Rats DAO. This is a project I don't know that much about. I see it talked about on social media, and maybe you could shed some light on this one, because they're a DAO, right? So I'm assuming that you mint their NFT and you have some rights within the DAO. Why don't we size this one up with the
So Rats DAO falls under just tokenization. That is their genre. Their creators, I don't believe they are known in the community, so they do not get a point there. Revenue generating utility, I'm going to give this a 0. And the reason I'm giving this a 0 is that if you read their white paper, they specifically state that you are entering into a DAO to purchase other NFT projects with the intention of generating revenue, but they keep back the ability to distribute those revenues. It is to their discretion if the revenues that they generate are going to be given back to the community, or they're going to use them for something else. Personally, I don't like that, right? If you're going to tell me that I'm going to be part of the DAO and we buy a project that's $1,000 and it goes to $10,000 and you sell it, I want the revenue to be distributed to my wallet.
Yeah.
So if you guys agree with them, you can give them a point. I'm not giving them a point for that.
Right. So we don't want to give points for, you know, something on the roadmap that was never hit or a promise that has not yet been, you know, materialized. And I'm looking at the floor price history, and it's basically at this project's all-time low after a huge spike and increase early on. So I guess once news got out of their policy, it was less attractive to a lot of people. I mean, I could only guess. I don't have one of these, and I don't follow the project, but I know that it is talked about quite a bit on some of the social media platforms that I use.
Yeah, listen, if we were to run it out, right, where we were going to invest in NFT projects based on our analysis, the number one thing that I would tell my community is that when I sell a project, the distribution of the profits go back to everybody who's in the project, and then you can decide if you're going to reinvest in my DAO to pick up more projects. I'm not going to tell them that we made 9,000, but we're going to keep it and do something else with it. You have to give that opportunity to your investor. That's how hedge funds work, right? That's how this should work.
Right.
So they don't get a point from me. But again, if you guys think that's fair, you give them that point.
Yeah, there's a little bit of judgment calls to be made with the metrics. That's definitely one of them. And I don't see that many DAOs on Cardano, so I guess this is almost like a dry run for how a DAO is going to work, and I think it'll be improved upon in the near future because there is potential, obviously, for a DAO to work.
Of course, if it's set up properly, right, and the foundation is built well, DAOs can work with investing in NFT projects, right? But we need to be very transparent with what we tell the community. So let's move on to the third point, whale concentration. Top 10 whales hold less than 10%. They do get a point there. So all of these have value beyond ranking, so they get a point there. The wallet distribution is over 30%. They get a point there. Their floor price is higher than the mint price. They get a point there. Their average history is not trending higher, so they do not get a point there. Their volume is not in the top 20 for the last 30 days. They do not get a point there. Their 30-day floor price is not trending higher, so they do not get a point there, but they are in the all-time volume for top 50. So Rat's DAO, based on our analysis, gets a 5 out of 10 with a floor price right now of 139.
All right. Well, I'm going to bring up the spreadsheet so people can see what we've reviewed so far, and you know, some of these were done in previous videos. So the yellow highlights were, you know, the first edition, the green highlights were the second edition, and then the pink ones are today. And yeah, you can see it starts to become clear that certain projects are overrated, or the hype is being weighed heavily by the community when you start matching them up against each other.
Yeah, everybody, thanks for joining us. We're going to finish up the top 20 in the next video, so stay tuned.